Good evening, friends. It is indeed with joy that we come into your group once again, bringing with us the love from the spirit world to link up with the love which you send out to spirit. We were listening to those hymns that you were singing, and we thought many of you probably remember singing them when you were very young. They are simple hymns, and yet they contain so much of the truth. And so it is with your religion, with spiritualism. It can be so simple that a child can understand it. And yet, men can make it so complicated that it can take years to understand it fully. In your Orthodox churches, before your ministers are ordained, whatever particular denomination they belong to, they go through years of training, years during which they take the Bible and other books and read and digest them and analyze them and translate them into words of many syllables, trying to bring into the simple gospel that Jesus of Nazareth came to give the profundity that will show people how brilliant they are. Is that necessary? When Jesus walked the earth plane, he spoke, no doubt, to the wise men of the church, but he spoke more than ever to the simple people, the ordinary man, woman, and child. He was a simple man, a carpenter by trade, living in a simple home before he came to the days when he began to fulfill his ministry. And when he went round the countryside preaching, he did not use words of many syllables. He used the simple examples that he saw around him. The shepherd with his sheep, as you heard in the reading, the grass in the fields, the lilies by the wayside. He spoke to the people in words that they could understand. And the message that came through the whole of his ministry was the message that the most important thing upon earth is love. In your language, that is a very simple word, is it not? Just 4 letters, love. And yet it can contain within it the whole purpose of life. If you have love in your hearts, love that is selfless, love that seeks to do the best for other people, love that tries to see things from the other person's point of view, then you will have achieved what you came to earth to do. There are many forms of love. Some of them are of the noblest. Some of them have used the word in a debased sense. But love can mean so many things to different people. But the main thing that it means is that you are sharing with other people, sharing their joys, sharing their sorrows, giving help where it is needed, giving healing to those who are suffering, giving comfort to those who mourn, giving help to the destitute, giving understanding to those who are wandering. If you look round your earth plane today, you will see many examples of love being put into expression. The love of the nurses for their charges, whether they are in hospitals, in old people's homes, in mental hospitals, or whether they are in their own homes. Love is the most important thing in the world, and yet it is so simple. If only men would realize it. When you come to the earth plane, you come in order that you can learn lessons while you are here. You have come from the spirit world. You spend your days upon earth, learning, practicing, putting into effect what you have been taught, what you understand. And we want you to spend your days in giving out love. Then, when the time comes when you leave your body behind, your spirit will go on into the next world, taking with it all the lessons that you have learned, the wisdom you have gained, and taking with it the work that you have done, the love that you have sent out to other people, and the love which you have accepted yourselves. It is so easy at times to give, is it not? It gives you a good feeling inside when you can give something to someone, whether it is something in a material line, or whether it is something mental, something spiritual. But you have got to learn to accept as well as to give. And often you will find that more difficult. Look at it from this point of view. You like to give, but if nobody is willing to accept what you give, then you feel withdrawn and hurt. As you are ready to give yourselves, so you must be ready to accept as well. It is very easy to say that you like to be independent, that you like to rely upon yourself, that you like to do things for yourself. But no one lives completely independently. You came into the physical world by being dependent upon your parents. You passed your childhood, whether it was within a safe home with your mother and father, or whether you were thrust into someone else's home or into an orphanage. At the same time, you were dependent upon other people. When you went to school, you were dependent upon your teachers. You were willing to accept what they could give you. And then the time came when you started out into the world, finding your own feet. And once again, you were dependent upon the employer. You were dependent upon the doctor. You were dependent upon your government, upon your local council. You accept the things which come from such as these. So you must be prepared to accept what wants to be given to you from other people in your world. It is good to stand on your own feet. It is good to be independent to a certain extent. So often in your world today, you see those who have no incentive to get on, no incentive to go to work, no incentive to do anything worthwhile. It is good for you to have incentives, to have motivation. It is good for you to do things, to do work of one sort or another. But it is also good for you to be prepared to accept help, to realize when you are coming towards the end of your time upon earth, that you are not quite so strong as you used to be. If you are willing to accept help, you will be doing other people a favor by allowing them to feel good about helping you. One of your great authors has said in a book that he has written about an Indian Lama who said that he was accepting charity because he was giving people the opportunity to give. And by accepting them, he was doing them a favor. Think about that. Don't pride yourself on being completely independent. You rely upon other people to get this church ready for you, to book up speakers to come, to put the names that you want on the healing list, to send out prayers for them. Everyone on earth is dependent upon everyone else. That is why if one person is suffering, then that suffering is divided among all the peoples in your world. When you look back over your history, you quite often think that nothing could have been worse than the state in which your world is in today. But when you look back, remember, it wasn't so very many years ago when men and women thought it perfectly justified to take part in the slave trade, when they saw nothing against Christianity in going to church on a Sunday and leaving their slaves working. They saw nothing wrong in sending little children down the mines to work underground. Even today in parts of your world, there are people who see nothing wrong in pushing children into marriage at a very young age. Things which you take for granted as being a part of your heritage in your country here are unheard of in other parts of the world. They are not wrong. It is just that they haven't got to the stage yet when they realize that these things can be altered. We often feel that you in this country are very privileged in being able to come and worship in this way, when there are so many parts of your world where people dare not take one step outside the orthodox paths laid down for them by their priests, their headmen, their governments. Realize your responsibilities. Realize that because you are privileged to worship in this way, so you have a responsibility to send out your loving thoughts to all those who are not so lucky as you are. Of course, whatever life a person leads upon earth, whatever circumstances they are born into, it is always their own choice. Their choice from Spirit, because the particular circumstances of the life that they choose are what they need for their spiritual development. Of course, you don't remember. It wouldn't do for you to know what spirit life is really like. Your job here is to make the most of the opportunities life has to offer, to face the obstacles, to do the things that come to your hand, always remembering that the most important thing is to give out love and to accept love. We ask for a blessing upon each one of you, upon your homes, and all those with whom you come into contact. May they see the love within you, and through seeing it, may they come to know and understand about Spirit. Good night, my friends, and God bless you all.